Hi, first grade. We're going to start off today by playing a game of heads or tails. So the way heads or tails works is you flip a coin and one person says heads or tails, and whatever it lands on is the winner. So I'm going to use a penny today. And if you remember from our discussion yesterday, on the front of a penny is Abraham Lincoln, and then on the back is either a shield or the Lincoln Memorial. So typically heads would be Abraham Lincoln, and then tails would be the Lincoln Memorial or the shield. So I'm going to go ahead and pick tails. You guys, actually no, I'm going to do heads. I'm heads, you guys are tails. Let's see. Oh, I'm the winner. Are you wondering why? The reason why is because actually there is a secret hidden head here right in the center. I'm not sure if you know this or not, but on the back of a penny where there's the Lincoln Memorial, actually Lincoln is sitting there. And if you look really closely with a magnifying glass on a clean penny, you can kind of see this object here that shows Abraham Lincoln here sitting in the Lincoln Memorial. And then here's kind of a more zoomed up picture. So obviously it's not like a very good little, because it's so tiny that it's just a little imprint to represent Abraham Lincoln right there. And I actually never knew this until just a little while ago when I learned about that. So on the front of the penny, of course it's copper, but it's important to know how the penny looks, because if you were looking at coins maybe on paper that are all printed in black and white, then they could look the same very easily. So on the penny, the head of Abraham Lincoln is facing to the right. That is actually the only coin out of the quarter, nickel, dime, and penny where the head faces to the right. The rest will face to the left and go this way. And then, of course, a penny means 1 cent. And it is important to make sure you're writing your symbols so that way people know what it is you're talking about. Are you talking about 1 quarter, 1 book, 1 cent? So if you're typing it on the computer, sometimes you might see the cent symbol where it has this gap in between the C. Typically though, when people are writing, they draw the line all the way through it. So either one of those that you see are fine. They both show the cent symbol. All right, so we've got 2 pets here for sale at the pet store. The first one is Dexter. Let's see how much Dexter costs. Dexter costs, and if every penny is worth 1 cent, I'm going to count by ones. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. So Dexter is 14 cents. So I'm going to go ahead and type in how much he is worth. Dexter is worth 14 cents. And I'm just going to copy the little cent symbol here so it can fit up here, because I got to make sure I have it there. And since I'm typing, it's kind of a little bit more difficult. All right, so we've got Dexter is worth 14 cents at the pet store. Then our next dog we have at the pet store is Owen. Owen is worth 6 cents. And so we need to count the pennies until we reach 6 cents. So we've got all different kinds. We've got the front, we've got the backs, we've got some with the shield, some with the Lincoln Memorial on here. So I'm going to count out 6. 1 cent, 2 cents, 3 cents, 4, 5, 6. 6 pennies equals 6 cents. So Dexter costs 14 cents. Owen costs 6 cents. All right, we're going to look at a story called Benny's Pennies. Benny McBride had 5 new pennies. What should I buy? He asked. Buy something beautiful, said his mom. Buy something good to eat, said his brother. Buy something nice to wear, said his sister. Woof, woof, said his dog. Meow, said his cat. Okay, Benny said, I will. So Benny McBride, with 5 new pennies, strolled out in the morning sun. Let's see what he could buy with 5 pennies. What do you think? A woman was cutting roses. Her name was Mrs. Hill. Will you sell me a rose? Asked Benny. Will you sell me a rose for a penny? Yes, I will, said Mrs. Hill. Wow, that is a really good deal. Then Benny McBride, with 4 new pennies and a sweet-smelling rose, strolled on into the morning sun. A girl was baking cookies. Her name was Lucy May. Will you sell me a cookie? Asked Benny. Will you sell me a cookie for a penny? A cookie for a penny? Okay, said Lucy May. Then Benny McBride, with 3 new pennies, a sweet-smelling rose, and a soft, warm cookie, strolled on in the morning sun. A boy was making hats. His name was Michael Bess. Will you sell me a hat? Asked Benny. Will you sell me a hat for a penny? Oh, yes, said Michael Bess. Then Benny McBride, with 2 new pennies, a sweet-smelling rose, a soft, warm cookie, and a fine paper hat, strolled on in the morning sun. A butcher was cutting meat. His name was Mr. Hopper. Will you sell me a bone? Asked Benny. Will you sell me a bone for a penny? You're quite a shopper, said Mr. Hopper. Then Benny McBride, with 1 new penny, a sweet-smelling rose, a soft, warm cookie, a fine paper hat, and a big, meaty bone, strolled on in the morning sun. A man was catching fish. His name was Mr. Beale. Will you sell me a fish? Asked Benny. Will you sell me a fish for a penny? It's a deal, said Mr. Beale. Then Benny McBride, with a sweet-smelling rose, a soft, warm cookie, a fine paper hat, a big, meaty bone, a floppy, wet fish, but no new pennies, strolled home in the morning sun. I'm back, he called, and I bought what you said. It's beautiful, said his mom. Good, said his brother. I like it, said his sister. Woof, woof! Meow, said the cat. Thank you, Benny, they all said together. You're welcome, said Benny McBride. Wow, he got a really good deal on all of those pennies. I hope you enjoyed learning some more facts today about pennies.